Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As you guys know, and if you don't, if it's your first time here, I'm Matty Betts. I cover all the NHL picks that we do here on this channel. My brother, Big Al Better, I don't know if you guys have seen any of his videos. He covers the NBA. So if you guys have any NBA, picks or thoughts, ideas, stuff like that, or you guys just want leans in which direction you think that the certain games are going to go here in the playoffs, go over to the other section of our channel. You'll see all of his videos. He's got all the long hair. He's got a nice mullet going on, but he's the weirdo over here on the channel. So yeah, he's doing that. He's covering NBA. So shout out to him. He's been, super consistent. Pretty sure his winning percentage is right around 60% too. I know that's how it was kind of for the regular season. So I'd be really surprised if it wasn't the same going in, to the playoffs now. That's usually his bread and butter. He just gets to see the lines, and he's just really good at deciphering the lines, over under stuff like that. So if you guys do care about NBA, go over there. But if you guys haven't watched any of my videos, I've been doing the shorts. During the NHL regular season, we were just doing shorts every day. Nothing too crazy. Now that we're in the playoffs, though, we're doing main videos. So we're gonna be starting to do videos. This is my first one that I've been doing, so we'll see how it goes. I was gonna do a predictions video for the whole playoffs, give a couple leans, which teams I liked in the playoffs, which ones I didn't, give some wild cards. We'll probably still do that, but since we're a little behind schedule now, because we're already a couple days now into the playoffs, we'll be doing that at the end of the first round. We'll do a little recap on how our first round went, and then second round and on, we'll get a look at the teams that are remaining, and then kind of go from there of which ones that we like, which ones we don't, which teams we're fading, which ones we're not. So if you guys do enjoy all that kind of content, stick around, hang out. That's what we're going to be doing here. So what I got for you guys today, April 22nd, that'll be tomorrow. This video will be out a little bit later tonight, so you guys should be able to see it tonight. And then this would be for all the games tomorrow. This is how we're going to kind of do it. The scheduling, we had to work that out. It was a little weird at first, but my brother, he's going to be doing it a little bit later at night, kind of recapping his bets for the night. And then I'll be doing this video a little bit before that, so that way we kind of just get, we can kind of just corner the market a little bit. You guys get a little bit of content. If you guys are on YouTube, just kind of watching around, you guys want to find, leans, bets, all that kind of stuff. We got it all for you guys. So stick around. We got NBA and NHL. It's hype of the season right now. It's the height of the season too. It's the playoffs. This is what we all live for in every sport. NHL doesn't seem to be as big as NBA or NHL or maybe even MLB, but it's still one of those sports that I hold dearly to me. So that's what we'll do. So April 22nd, that'd be tomorrow, Wednesday. We're gonna jump into the first game, as you guys can see on the screen already. I got you guys already pulled up right here. First game of the day tomorrow. We got Canadians and Capitals. Only 3 games on the table, which makes it a little bit easier for me. We'll see how long the video actually ends up being, but it shouldn't be too hard in my opinion, but we'll see. So we'll just jump into it now. We got, Montreal Canadiens going up against the Capitals. Capitals, they have Ovechkin. Everybody knows about the hype around him. He, broke Gretzky's record this year. Good for him. I think he's 41. He's been playing for a long time. So shout out to, Ovechkin for that. Also, last time that these guys played, this is their second time playing now. Like I said, we're a couple days into the season. So, Capitals won the first game. It was 3-2. Ovechkin had 2 goals, I believe, in that game, and then the game did go to overtime. Ovechkin won it in overtime. The puck was in midair and slapped it right behind the goalie. It was awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys could go look it up and watch the play. It was awesome. So, Capitals, in my opinion, they are, the more dominant team. They are the better team. Now, the Canadians, throughout the whole entire regular season that I was at least making bets and watching and stuff like that, they're kind of that one team where it's they're a good team. Obviously, they're in the playoffs too, which half the league makes the playoffs, so it's say what you want to about that. But Canadians were always that one team where it's I'd be fading them, and then they'd show me something special and show me that they can win games. So, and they beat good opponents too. So it's one of those teams where I've just kind of been on the fence with. And yeah, I don't know. So with that being said, this is game 2. So if you look at the line here, we got the spread, plus 1.5. The hockey spreads are always different than most other sports where you get even money plays for each side. They usually, it's a lot of points that they're giving you because it's always a 1.5. So we have the Canadians at plus 1.5. It's a minus 155 play, and then you have the Capitals here at minus 1.5. That's a plus 130 play. So Capitals here, they're at home again. Like I said, they won the first game 3-2 in overtime. So they took the Canadians to overtime, which I think is, if you're a Capitals fan, I don't think it's really what you wanted to see. You wanted to see the Capitals come out. It's your first playoff game at home. You have the home ice advantage, I guess I should say. But it's like I don't know. I feel like they should have won by more than that, and I don't think the Canadians should have been able to take them to overtime. And with that being said, I think the Canadians are going to get out to a little bit hotter of a start in this one. So I expect the Canadians to get a lot more shots on goal near the start of the game. I think they had Suzuki. Yeah, Suzuki had 7 shots on goal, which is just an insane amount of shots on goal. But he also had one of their 2 goals. So I think Suzuki will kind of do the same thing that he's been doing. The Capitals, I mean, I could see them holding on to this game, and maybe this is their okay. Now we got the playoff jitters out of our system. Now we can kind of fire on all cylinders, and maybe they do win the game by like 3 or 4. But I do still think it's gonna be a close game, and I could even see the Canadians winning this game too, because they took them to overtime in the first game, and now the Canadians are like, okay, we're warmed up here now. Like, we were in enemy territory, but we just took them to overtime on their own ice. So I think the Canadians can do something here. I do. So that's the only reason why I don't really like the spreads here. If I was going to go with a spread, I'd go with the Canadians, plus 1.5. That's not really something I want to do here, just because it's a minus 155 play, which I don't know if you guys aren't used to the channel. That's not really what we like to do here. We kind of like to just go with even money bets for the most part. So what we're going to be doing here instead is we're going to go with I like the over here. The last game it was 3-2 in overtime, and like I said, Canadians, I do see them getting off to a little bit hotter of a start. Capitals can easily catch up, and they can definitely keep it tied and keep it a close game, which I do think it will be. But I see this game being at least 3-3 going into the third period, or at least late in the third period, 3-3. Who's going to win? Even in a shootout, we still get that win. So, or even if they win in overtime too. So if the game does go to overtime again, I do see it being a 3-3 going into overtime, not a 2-2. So I do like the over here, over 5.5. That's what we're going to be taking at minus 120. Like I said, it's just going to be a close game in my opinion. We could have gone like I don't know, like the money line bets too. They're there, and it's like you get really plus 165 on the Canadians. But when it comes to playoffs are a lot closer of games. I mean, for the most part, there's been a couple blowouts the last couple days, but yeah, I mean that's where we're gonna go here. My bet right here, my lock, I guess you could say, for this game is the over 5.5. I do see the Canadians, hotter streak, and the Capitals. They're still the Capitals. Like they're still one of the best teams in the league. So yeah, I like the Capitals. They probably still end up winning this game by 1, but like I said, it should be 3-3. Maybe 4-2, but it's like I'm really confident that we're gonna hit the over 5.5 there. So there's that game. As you guys can see, we can go down. Next game, we got the Stars and the Avalanche. Now, this game, I thought all these games, because I looked at the first one, Canadians Capitals. I've been a little checked out the past couple days. So I looked and I was like, cool, Stars Avalanche, We're going to get Stars, they're going to Colorado. I was like, cool, this is, game 2, right? It's not, it's game 3. So keep that in mind here. Game 3, let's talk about game 1 and game 2. We had the Avalanche. They destroyed in game 1 because they weren't even at home. They were in Dallas, and they destroyed in that game. They won the game. Where I have it written down here. Yeah, 5-1. Like they beat Dallas 5-1. And when it comes to Dallas, it's like I've talked to my brother about this a lot. And it's like every time I seem to bet on Dallas, they always let me down. And this was like the later stretch of the season where it's like you got to be playing your best hockey. Like you need to win games to move up the rankings, and all of that. And the Stars just kept letting me down. And I was like, I don't really understand like what I'm supposed to do with the Stars because I know that they're a really good team. They have a lot of talent, like a ton, but at the same time, every time that they're in these high matchup games, they seem to lose, or they only win by 1, or they lose by 1. I had them on the cover, and it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like we needed a little bit more, and I needed to see a little bit more from the Stars. So for that to happen in game 1, it kind of goes with what I was saying. Now, game 2, a little differently. Dallas won 4-3. Okay, mind you, this was in Dallas, so the second game they it could just be those playoff jitters like we've talked about, like. And it's one of those things that like you see it in a lot of sports too, especially like basketball and hockey, where the first game just doesn't even look like the rest of the series. So you have the first game where it's like, oh, the underdog, destroyed in the first game, and then the star of the team, the stars of the team. I mean, not to be make a pun or anything like that, but the stars of the team, they come to play, they show up, they shine, and you kind of just take that first game as a wash. So with that being said, as you guys can see here, a little different, I guess, here with the spreads. I mean, it's still 1.5. That never changes. But plus 1.5 on the Stars. They're on the road, so you get the plus 1.5 on them. If you like them to win this game and take one from the Avalanche like the Avalanche did in Dallas, I don't mind it at minus 165. But if you think they're going to win, I just go with the money line. It's a plus 145. And then you have the Avalanche minus 1.5. That's a plus 140, which I did think about. But at the same time, too, like I said, the first game of the playoffs, you can't really do that much with it because it's a 7 game series. It's a long series for the most part, most of the time. So I don't know. My lean here again. We got the over under right. It's over under set at 6.5, which I like a lot. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that first game was 6 points. Yeah, I mean we got the next one. I mean Dallas won second game 4-3. So it's like yeah. And in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, cool. So we got the over under. Over under is really juiced in my opinion, right? I mean you had 7 points and 6 points. So it's like they're kind of right there. I guess it's pretty much a perfect line if you're looking from the book standpoint, but it's also a whole new venue now too. And whole new venue, you take it whichever way you want to. In my opinion, you don't score as many points, so I'd want to play the under here, the under 6.5. But then you could easily see the Stars like go to Colorado and score 4 or 5 points, and if they do, then the whole entire thing's just a wash. So my thing here is like it just brings me back to like when I saw Dallas play. Near the end of the season, tough matchups, tough games, they let me down every time. So my bet here, we're going the -1.5 on the Avalanche. They showed that they could do it in Dallas, so you can't really be mad about that. So I like Avalanche here -1.5. Their first home game too. They should do what the Stars weren't able to do and wallop. It should be, in my opinion, another game where it's 5-1, 4-1, maybe even like 4-2. I think it should be a pretty dominant win for the Avalanche. So go with the -1.5 there at +140. That's my pick. Like I said, I don't mind the under 6.5, but it's also the Avalanche at home. Not really gonna, steer too. I don't know. The over/under has to entice me a little bit more, not right when they change venues. But that's it for that game. Let's move on down. Another one: Oilers and Kings. Now, Oilers, I didn't really follow along too much with or watch too much with, but then we have the Kings. So, I mean, I do know about the Oilers and that they are a good team and all of that. They're in the playoffs for a reason, but my only thing was like I didn't really bet them that much. So when it comes to the Kings, I bet the Kings a lot, and I won a lot and lost a little bit. So with the Kings, like if you take it back to like the whole betting and stuff like that, like all the games that I bet on, I had to watch. Like you're engrossed, you want to watch it, you need to watch it. So what I saw from the Kings was I saw flashes of greatness, and then I also saw some games too. Like I mean, I guess it's a long season, so you see it with every team, but more often than not, I did see them just they beat other teams. Like they got the job done. They won the games that they needed to win against the tough opponents. They also won those too. They had blowouts too, but it's like I don't. It's the regular season. It's hard to take anything away from it. So let's talk about the first game. Kings did win their first home game, like Dallas wasn't able to do, but that's okay. Besides the point, they won the game 6-5. So I mean, that's a lot of points right there. 6-5. I will say this though, however, if you guys are like, oh, 6-5, it was a close game. Like it actually wasn't. I mean, the Kings had a 4-1 lead at the start of the third period. Think about that. Like Edmonton, they came to play. Like they didn't get it all going until like near the end of the game, but third period came around. It was 4-1, and they lose that game by 1 point. Like, and they score 4 more points. So crazy that even happened. Like great ending to that game. So yeah, I'll take I'll take the Oilers there. They were able to actually outshine the Kings, in my opinion, just because they were able to do it near the end of the game when it actually mattered, crunch time. So that speaks volumes to a team, especially on the road. So in this game, if you guys, didn't add up those points by yourselves, I mean, what did I say it was? Yeah, 6-5. So, I mean, we had 11 points in that game. So a lot of points, very high scoring, especially for an NHL game. But, I mean, if you look at the over-under right here, it's over-under is 6. So it's like I don't think that anybody expected the Oilers to come back from that 4-1 deficit. But you still have to look at the facts. They were able to. So with that being said, I mean, then the over 6 points is a +100. I think they're trying to get a lot of people to like look at the book and be like, oh, we can take the under here because the under is actually less money. And oh, all the professional gamblers that are throwing tons and tons, like me and my brother, like you're gonna throw a ton of money on this. It's like we're not trying to like walk with the book. We're trying to beat the book, and we get way better odds over here on over 6 points. And I mean, we just saw a game with 11 points. So if we can do the same thing, or even like somewhat similar, like we'll be fine. We'll be able to clear this over 6. So my pick for this game is the over 6. Like you guys see, you got the spread. It's -120, or sorry, -220 for the Edmonton. They're still on the road, but you do get the 1.5, and then the Kings are -1.5. It's +180, which I didn't mind that play or that pick either because the Kings would have won that first game by 2 points easily if Edmonton wouldn't have just come to life and just had a barrage of goal scoring. So Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just gonna stick with what I've seen, and what I saw was two teams that really want to play and really want to win, and the Kings kind of rested back when they had a 4-1 lead, and Edmonton said, okay, this is our chance to actually go and show what we can do, and try to dethrone LA. So yeah, with that being said, there's my lock for that game. I'm taking the over. I do like it. We're going to do a little bit of variety here. We're not just being like, okay, we have to take a spread. We have to take an over-under. Like, I could see a money line bet that I like. But when you're talking about home ice, and especially in the playoffs, it's not something I really want to dabble in. So I don't know how often we'll actually do money lines. If I don't like the over-under, the spreads, maybe I'll just take the home team favorite money line, because a minus 135 play still isn't that bad. It's not what we like to do, but I mean we do like getting juice picks, like the plus 100, stuff like that. I like seeing the plus, in my bets. But yeah, those are the three games for tomorrow. Those are my three picks. So I have it down for you. We got Canadians at Capitals. We're taking the over 5.5 there. That's a minus 120 play. And then in game two, but their third game, we have the Stars at the Avalanche, and we're taking the Avalanche minus 1.5. They're at home. They're the home team. We're getting plus 140 on them. It is a minus, it's a minus spread, so they have to win by two there. So that's why you're getting the juice money there. And then we got Edmonton and the Kings, and we are taking the over 6 just because they scored 11 points in the last game. So there you go. That's what I got for you guys for those three games. Now, what we are going to be doing in every one of these videos, what we will be doing is we're doing a parlay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm taking shots on goal. So we're going to be taking three people. Well, depending on how many games there are, sometimes we should have two, should have four. So we'll see how juice we can make these, but what we're going to be doing is we're taking one pick, one player from each game for shots on goal. So we're going to take one from each game, throw them together into a parlay, try to juice that thing up to around like a plus 500, plus 1,000. It kind of depends on how many games are on the docket too, because it's really hard to get, you want a parlay to hit, right? That's why you do it. This isn't really just like, oh, for fun, we hope it hits. These are like, a plus 500 bet isn't that unrealistic to hit. If you're doing a plus 2,000, then yeah, then you're playing with fire there. But we got that pulled up right here. Let's go to it. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. First pick, Nick Suzuki. We got him at over 2.5 shots. Now, on the book that I'm on right now, BetMGM, you can't actually go to actual shots, like adjustable shots, or what's it called? You guys know what I'm talking about, though, but it's like where you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can't do that. I'm not sure what BetMGM is doing. They were able to do it back during the regular season. They were able to do it, and I'm not sure if maybe you have to wait till the day of. But if you guys play on other books, I know that those options are out there. So if you can, I like him. Obviously over 2.5, and then a 3 plus. That's gonna be pretty much the same payout there. So yeah, but the first pick, going Nick Suzuki, Montreal Canadiens. Should be pretty good. It's going to be a good game. It's over 2.5 shots on goal. In the last game, he had 7. So you got to take it. The number's going to be a little juice. That's why it's at plus 130. But Suzuki's been pretty good all year long, so we'll take him there too. Then next we got Cole Makar, and this is their third game. So it's a minus 185 play over 2.5, and that's because, let me tell you why. He only had 1 in game 1. Okay, then came back in the last game with 6. So you got 7 shots on goal there. He needs 3, so split the difference if you want to. I like that at minus 185. Next, we're going Evan Bouchard, or Bouchard, or Boucher. I think it's Boucher, but I'm going to say Bouchard because that's what it looks like to me. Also over 2.5. And Bouchard, in his last game, he had 4. So that one's at plus 100. There's a reason for that. It's because the book knows, hey, it's probably a little inflated. It's the first game. He had 4 shots on goal. Guy doesn't normally get that many, so we'll see. Hopefully it kind of just continues to go in this series that they're playing there against the Kings. And yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you guys. That parlay pays out plus 608. So, low 608, you need, 3, 6, 9 shots on goal. I think we can get that split between 3 games. So, but yeah, other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like I said, this is my first video that I've done. We're going to be doing them every single day, so, if I seem a little awkward, a little off, it's going to be because, it's my first one. But don't worry, as the time goes on, as the days go by, we're going to get a lot better at it. We're going to get a lot more dialed in, too. So, but I do like all of these picks. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. Shout out to Big Al Better again if you guys care about NBA picks, NBA playoffs, all that kind of good stuff. Go and watch some of his videos too. He does ones every single day. Also has a parlay similar to mine. His are a little bit more in depth because NBA there's a lot more picks that you can actually make. But other than that, thanks for joining me today, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.